This thing is on a KLM flight. It looks like a grid, but it doesn't look like it's doing anything. It has a Wi-Fi sticker on it. Can you tell me what this grid is for? The photo shows the passenger cabin of the KLM airline. The object in the center of the image is something like a transparent partition or grid hanging from the ceiling. This is not a design error or an emergency situation. This is a dividing curtain separating the economy comfort zone from the regular economy class. Such blinds are often used in airplanes to visually and psychologically separate improved seats, with increased legroom, from standard ones. This helps to highlight the difference in service and creates a sense of exclusivity. In this case, you can see that the seats behind the partition, in front, have different upholstery colors, which is a characteristic feature of KLM's economy comfort. You can also see that each passenger has an individual screen with an entertainment system, and the ceiling has standard lights and vents. This indicates that this is a modern aircraft, possibly a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, which is actively used by KLM on long-haul flights. What are these? I've been seeing these in Tallinn, but I have no clue what they are. The photo shows a miniature reinforced concrete tetrapod, an engineering structure whose shape is specially designed for stability and protection from external influences. In the original, tetrapods are used in coastal protection. Their huge versions are dropped onto the shores to disperse the force of the waves and prevent the destruction of the coastline. But this particular instance is a smaller urban version. It performs the function of an anti-parking barrier or a street traffic limiter. Due to its three-beam shape, it is stable, does not roll, and it is difficult to move it without special equipment. These shapes are chosen to create stability on any surface and in any weather. In Tallinn and other European cities, these tetrapods are often used to will block cars from entering pedestrian areas, a temporary restriction of passageways, or elements of street design with industrial aesthetics. Interestingly, due to their unusual shape and associations with the sea, such structures have become a kind of symbol of architectural minimalism and urbanism. On back of road signs in South Wales. What is this sticker? The photo shows the back of a road sign in South Wales, which has a yellow sticker with an image of a dolphin jumping over a mountain and an arrow pointing up. At first glance, it's a complete mystery, but it's an unofficial guerrilla sticker left by street artists or activists. Such stickers are part of the UK's street folklore. They have no legal force, but they are often found in rural areas or on tourist routes. This particular sticker is often referred to as Dolphin Uprising, a satirical symbol or hoax that is associated on the internet with fictional conspiracies, pseudoscientific legends, or simply as an element of street humor. The point is that he deliberately causes confusion. His task is to attract attention, surprise, and leave a sense of mystery. This is a kind of visual virus, similar in style to Banksy graffiti or other cultural interventions. Sometimes such stickers are used for GPS marking of certain routes, for example in geocaching, or as art objects by local artists, or as part of ARG, alternative game realities, story quests in the real world. But more often than not, it's just a strange meme in real space, the purpose of which is to confuse and raise the question, what the hell was that? And that's its magic. I'm in Denmark. Looks like it's some traffic counting? A box and two wires which aren't connected to anything. The photo shows a portable road monitoring system with pneumatic hoses. These two black tubes stretched across the road are nothing more than pneumatic traffic sensors connected to a counterbox at the side of the road. When a vehicle passes through the hoses, the air inside them compresses and creates a pressure pulse that is detected by the device. Here's how it works. 1. Traffic counting. A single hose acts as a simple counter for passing vehicles. Every time a tire presses on the hose, one vehicle is recorded. 2. Speed measurement. The presence of two hoses allows the system to determine the speed. The system knows the exact distance between the hoses, for example, 1 meter, and measures the time it takes for the vehicle's wheels to press on the first hose and then on the second. By dividing the distance by the time, the speed can be calculated. These devices are widely used by municipalities to assess traffic congestion, road authorities for infrastructure design, or by researchers for traffic flow analysis. The system is completely autonomous, powered by batteries, and can be easily installed in a matter of minutes. Its main advantage is its accuracy at minimal cost and the absence of the need for complex sensors or cameras. Often, such devices appear on the roads without warning, not for fines, but for collecting statistics that are later used in the planning and modernization of the transport network. Pole with circular wheel on top. Who can explain what this thing is for? The photo shows the so-called bird pole, or bird support, often found in rural areas of the United States, especially in the states of Michigan and Wisconsin. The structure consists of a vertical wooden pole, on top of which is mounted a wheel from a cart or tractor, as well as a birdhouse and a small vertical stick at the top. The main purpose of such a facility is to provide birds with a comfortable and safe place to rest, hunt, and nest. The ring will serve as a landing area, especially for birds of prey, owls, hawks, and falcons. From there, it is convenient to observe the field in search of rodents. The birdhouse is designed for small birds, such as chickadees, sparrows, or swallows. The vertical pin is often used by birds as an observation point or even as a roost for owls at night. Such pillars reduce the number of pests, mice, rats, keep birds away from farms and barns, and contribute to the conservation of biodiversity in agricultural areas. Sometimes these structures are created from recycled materials, as here, an old iron wheel has found a new eco-friendly function. It's not just aesthetics, it's an example of harmony between rural life and nature. Hey guys, any ideas on what this could be? I think it's lead about 0.5 kilograms, exactly the same size as my iPhone 12. Found in a field in England. The photo shows a heavily oxidized and partially destroyed object, presumably made of lead. Its shape, weight, about 0.5 kilograms. Cellular structure with holes and a characteristic protrusion from above indicate that it is a lead anode grid from an old battery, most likely of the lead acid type. Such elements were used in industrial or military batteries of the mid-20th century, in radio stations, underground cable nodes, agricultural machinery and motorcycles, in large battery packs for backup power. The cells are designed to hold the active mass, a mixture of lead and lead dioxide, which reacted with sulfuric acid during battery operation. The holes are needed to increase the contact area with the electrolyte. The upper projection is a terminal for connecting to other elements. It is not uncommon to find such a thing in a field in England. Lead almost does not degrade over time, and batteries were often discarded or lost on the sites of old farms, army camps, or telecommunications facilities from the Second World War. This is a kind of techno-artifact, a reminder of what early energy sources looked like. Found in a conference room in a large office building. Pressing the button does not have an obvious result. What does this control do? The photo shows an old-fashioned wall sensor or HVAC system control panel, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, manufactured by CSI, Control Systems International, later absorbed by Honeywell. This unit is designed for local temperature control or indoor lighting, such as in a conference room or office. That's what the elements mean. Slider with plus and allows you to adjust the temperature above or below the set system reference point. This is not a thermostat in the full sense of the word, but only a local temperature shift, often plus or minus 3 degrees. The button with the symbols of the sun and moon is a switch between day and night mode, or between busy / not busy. In some systems, this button activates ventilation or turns on the air conditioner if the room is used outside the schedule. A lack of immediate effect is typical. Changes take effect through a centralized BMS, Building Management System, which can delay or ignore a response depending on the building's schedule. Such devices were installed in the 1980s and 2000s and are often still hanging in buildings, even if the automation systems themselves have long been replaced or disabled. Therefore, the lack of reaction is not surprising. He is physically in place, but functionally he may have been dead for a long time. What is this red cone made of poles on the back of a truck? The photo shows a truck with a structure mounted on a platform that visually resembles a red cone assembled from long metal pipes. This is not an antenna or construction equipment. This is a part of the attraction, folded for transportation. Most likely, this is an element from a children's carousel or rotating attraction, for example, such as cups, airplanes, or bees. Why it looks like this: the arm arches extend upward in the shape of a cone. When unfolded, seats, booths, or carousel platforms are attached to them. The base is fixed on the trolley, and the upper parts are compressed to minimize the volume during transportation. The design color, bright, often red or pink, is typical for entertainment installations to attract the attention of children and parents. These trailers are most often moved between fairs, parks, or temporary events. And the truck itself most likely belongs to a touring amusement park. This is a familiar scene for those who have seen collapsible rides in small towns. Some sort of cutter, hand-cranked, made of brass. What is it for? The photo shows a mechanical machine for sharpening and polishing correcting straight razors, also known as an automatic sling or mechanical file for razors. This device dates back to the early 20th century and is designed for regular maintenance of the razor blade without the need to sharpen it on a stone. How it works: the razor was fixed in the clamping part, which is missing on this particular example. At the handle operated a complex crank mechanism, causing the blade to move back and forth along a leather strap sling fixed between two guides. The leather strap is not present on this model, but it was intended to be stretched along an arc above or along the base. Details: the mechanics are made of brass, a material popular in precision instruments of the time. The wooden base was used for stability on the table. The slot in the base and the guides, visible in the lower part, served to fasten the sling and adjust the tension. The semicircular scale and gears ensured the uniformity of the stroke. Interesting fact: such devices were used in hairdressers and by wealthy razor owners. They simplified the routine of tool care, especially for those who used razors on a daily basis. Despite its complexity, the device replaced manual leather belt tensioning and manual blade polishing, making the process almost automated by the standards of its time. What is this jet engine-looking thing on a road construction site? The photo shows a vertical cylindrical structure mounted on a trailer at a construction site. Despite its resemblance to a jet engine, this is not an engine, but a flare stack or gas burner, gas flare stack. This device is designed to burn excess or harmful gases generated during underground or industrial operations. These installations are used in the following cases: during the repair or installation of gas pipelines to safely dispose of residual gas pressure, or at construction sites where methane, propane, or other volatile compounds may be released. It's when working near underground tanks where gases must be vented without risk of leakage into the atmosphere. How it works: inside, there is a combustion chamber where the gas is mixed with air and ignited. The high temperature ensures almost complete combustion of the hydrocarbons, converting them into carbon dioxide and water vapor, which reduces environmental harm. Why it is inactive: such a device can be in standby mode for a long time, and is activated only when it is necessary to dispose of the accumulated gas. At first glance, it looks like a simple barrel on a trailer, but when it is turned on, it emits a bright flame and acts as a powerful torch. These devices are an integral part of modern construction regulations, especially in cities where gas pipelines are located. Their purpose is to prevent leaks and explosions, reduce harmful emissions, and ensure the safety of work. Giant construction machine in neighbor's yard. About 6 stories high and makes a jackhammer sound. Why is he here? The photo shows a powerful vertical drilling rig located on a private plot. Judging by the design and size, about the size of a 6-story house, this is a deep-sea drilling machine for installing a water intake well. Such installations are used for autonomous water supply of private homes, especially in areas where there is no centralized water supply. How it works: the installation uses either a rotational or impact rotational drilling principle. The drilling tool, rods with a chisel at the end, is sunk into the soil, passing through various geological layers until it reaches the aquifer. The depth of such wells can reach from 30 to 200 meters or more. The sound is like a jackhammer. This noise is caused by the operation of a pneumatic hammer drill embedded in the drill head. It helps to pass hard rocks such as stone or clay. Why they drill near the house: the owners of the site want to get their own well for water, which is especially important in rural or remote areas. This guarantees independence from public utilities and year-round access to water. The well can be used both for domestic needs and for irrigation, technical purposes, or heating systems, for example, in geothermal installations. Such equipment appears on the site only temporarily. Drilling a well usually takes from 1 to 3 days, after which the installation leaves, and only a small lid or wellhead remains on the surface. What are there 3 rectangular plastic things suspended under a bridge in a stream? The photo shows 3 rectangular floating devices attached under a bridge in a pond. These are not trash or random objects. This is a stationary water aeration system, presumably one of the versions of the Aquamaster Ultimax fixed-base directional flow aerator. What is it? This is a directional aerator designed to saturate water with oxygen, it prevents stagnant areas, and improve water quality in slow-flowing or stagnant reservoirs, like this channel/stream under the bridge. How it works: inside each unit there is a pump with an impeller, vane impeller. Water is sucked in from below and ejected horizontally at a certain speed, creating a directional flow. The device is fixed under the bridge by cables or rigid fasteners and connected to the power grid via an underwater cable. Why here of all places? Under bridges, water usually stagnates or loses movement, especially if the current is weak. These aerators help distribute oxygen through the water column, improving conditions for fish, preventing water blooming and organic decay. Such systems are often used in urban canals, decorative rivers, and stormwater management systems. They are invisible from the shore, but they play an important role in maintaining the health of the aquatic ecosystem. Yellow and red emergency equipment in plain overhead bin with a thick rubber wire saw this while deplaning. Not only I can't understand what it is, I can't even understand the different parts. A thick wire that becomes thin midway? A spark plug? A random piece of paracord just bunched on top. The photo shows an emergency radio beacon, known as an ELT, emergency locator transmitter, installed in the upper baggage compartment of the aircraft. Its task is to transmit a distress signal in case of an emergency landing or crash, so that rescue services can accurately determine the location of the aircraft. What can be seen in the photo: the yellow cylinder with cables is part of the antenna and the launch module. The black and yellow wire is a coaxial cable leading to an antenna or launcher. A spark element, similar to a spark plug, is not a spark plug, but a high-frequency connector or activation detonator, sometimes used as part of an automatic trigger. A bunch of paracord can be either a manual activation cord or a sling that holds the antenna or buffer in a preset position until triggered. How the ELT works: it automatically activates in case of a strong impact, for example, in case of a crash. Starts transmitting the signal at frequencies of 121.5 and 406 MHz. Akaspa's Sarsat satellites and ground stations receive the signal, allowing services to quickly start searching. Why it is overhead: it is a transport or auxiliary ELT model located in the cabin. Or in some cases, such beacons are stored in easily accessible places so that the crew can manually activate or remove the device after evacuation. It is a vital piece of aviation emergency equipment that often looks inconspicuous, but plays a key role in saving lives. I bought this at auction, a long glass tube with a two-way scale from 0 to 18. The photo shows a classic U-shaped liquid manometer placed in a wooden case with a clasp. This is an accurate instrument used to measure low gas or air pressure, most often in inches of water. What can be seen in the image: a long glass tube in the shape of an inverted U. A yellow scale from 0 to 18 on both sides, which is used to measure the deviation of the liquid level in both columns. A rubber tube on one end is used to connect the device to a system, such as a gas stove. A wooden case with a felt lining indicates the precision and delicacy of the instrument, protecting the glass part. How it works: 1. Water or a special liquid, sometimes colored for visibility, is poured into the tube. 2. One end of the tube is connected to a pressure source, while the other end remains open. 3. Gas or air pressure causes the liquid level in the columns to shift. 4. The difference in levels on the scale indicates the pressure in inches of water. Where it was used: checking gas pressure in household stoves, water heaters, and boilers. Adjusting and calibrating low-pressure ventilation systems. Occasionally used in laboratory practices and engineering tests. This is an accurate and very visual measuring device from the days before digital sensors, and it is still used today because of its reliability and simplicity. You have a valuable and functional retro tool in your hands. A black tube connected to some kind of pump with a transparent tube and powder inside. Should I throw this away, or is it useful? The photographs show the Searchy VAC 200 professional vacuum chamber, designed for forensic examination. This equipment is used by law enforcement agencies and laboratories to identify and fix invisible fingerprints, especially on porous surfaces and documents. What is included in the package? The main chamber, black cylinder, is an airtight container in which the object is placed for processing. Vacuum pump with control unit, vac control, creates vacuum in the chamber, is regulated by a switch and is powered by mains. A pressure gauge shows the vacuum level inside. of valves and connections, for control of air supply and exhaust. The inscription on the case confirms that this is the VAC 200 model from Searchy, a well-known manufacturer of forensic instruments. The principle of operation: 1. An object, for example paper, plastic packaging, wood, is placed in the camera. 2. The pump that creates the vacuum is switched on. 3. A special powder is introduced into the chamber, for example, cyanoacrylate, superglue in pairs. 4. Under the action of vapors, the glue polymerizes on greasy finger marks, making them visible. 5. After development, the prints are recorded and documented. Application: in forensic examination, identification of fingerprints on documents, weapons, banknotes. In forensic laboratories, especially in cases where the original is required to be preserved, are also used in the training of forensic experts. This is a very specific and valuable equipment, which, due to its efficiency and reliability, is widely used in criminology and investigations around the world. Thank you all for watching, and if you liked the video, please like it and subscribe to the channel.